right?
Yeah, so yesterday we did a session at 7:30, which a lot of people said that they liked, and it was definitely before volume kicked in with the U.S. markets and everything. So probably is better to do this earlier, so we probably will. It
Yeah,
is July
pre-market.
16th, Thursday. So this is our last live trading session of the week. We have these every single day: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So Nick's going to start off with DXY, the dollar index, as always, and let's get right into it.
Absolutely nice. Thanks, Angelo. So first thing I want to do is, well, first this is DXY. It's the US dollar index. This chart shows essentially the strength of the US dollar. And we don't trade this, but we'll take a look at it because we want to see what the dollar's doing kind of, on intraday and, as the overall trend, because it is a reserve currency, makes up for 80% of all trade. And we trade a lot of major pairs that are, solely influenced by the US dollar, or, other pairs like gold that are very influenced, USD, JPY, AUD, USD. So it's good to pop in and kind of see what's going on with the reserve currency. So first thing you want to do is go to the daily, establish a trend, and then see if anything has changed on the daily. This is more so just a once look, right? So we can see it's bullish. Has anything changed that would then give us more, bearish sentiment? Not really, other than short-term stuff, lower time frame stuff. To change our sentiment on the daily from bullish to bearish, we need to see a break of this monthly. So if we saw a clean break of the monthly, retest confirming that break and that retest, then we would, consider changing our bias. But until that happens, we're still primarily bullish. You could just see it's just going up. It's an ascending trend, clearly bullish, okay? So let's zoom in on the 4 hour and see what trend's going on here. Clearly the 4 hour is more bullish. Now we can see that we had price action fallout after an ascending triangle here, getting lots and lots of lower highs, push to a new low, pull back to form structure, rejection off the 200 EMAs, double top, and then continuation of the bearish trend on this 4 hour time frame. So we're definitely looking more bearish right now, at least trying to get down towards this monthly, which again is that daily, significant level that we want to see some sort of reaction at, either a massive bounce or a nice break. We'll see. We'll see, and we'll only know once we get into this area and see how price action reacts. But until then, we're just riding this 4 hour trend, super bearish, pretty healthy bearish channel. And we did see a break of this support right here, which is what we were waiting on. This was put out in the analysis on Sunday. We were waiting for a break of this floor, of this support right at 96.25. Finally broke, came back. It's following this trade path, came back for the retest at the 96.25 area, right? Finding rejection off the MAs, getting a nice bearish engulfing. So this is definitely hinting at more bearish movement to come. We'll see in the next, few hours here. We got 3 hours on this 4 hour candle. We'll see in the next few hours how price action reacts and if it will continue with this drop. But it's definitely looking bearish as hell for DXY right now. So it's a quick analysis down to the 4 hours. So let's move on to AUD USD. This one's looking pretty interesting as well, and also is very dependent on what happens with the US dollar. And I'll cover that once we drop timeframes. First thing we want to do, again, do a one look on the daily. Super bearish, as we can see. Here's Corona news, huge spike to the bottom, huge 4 hour trend on the retracement. Which level is most significant? That would change our trend from our bias from bearish to bullish. It would be this monthly zone right here. You can see that this is where that prior lower high was. Price action dropped, came back all the way to test it right at the monthly. So until this level breaks, we're bearish. But it doesn't mean it can't happen. So just right now, based on what we see, the overall trend, significant levels, primarily bearish. And then we would change to bullish if we saw a break of the monthly, retest, continuation higher. Okay, that's what needs to happen to change our bias, because this is the daily time frame. This is a big move. A large move has to happen for us to change our sentiment. Okay, so now we can drop to the 4 hour, get a closer look at what the 4 hour trend is doing. Very bullish, very bullish trend here. Good amount of patterns, ascending channels, descending triangles. Just a good, healthy trend as far as, the 4 hour goes. So if we zoom in on this right here, we can see that we had massive rejection from this, monthly zone at 0.705, double top, gave us a transition, and then started ranging in this kind of ascending channel here, where we're getting like smaller, we're getting some highs, a lot of higher lows, not too far away from, where they are in price, 30, 40 pips each. So it is pretty broad. It's more flat than, you know, on an angle. But we did get this up here. So it's a tighter bit of ranging here. So you can see how this is a broader range. Price action pushed up to the top half of this channel and then started really getting restricted, really bouncing with some, you know, some volatility in here, just going off resistance, off support, off resistance, off support, so on and so on. Then we finally got a break to the upside, just finally. And let me show you what a good trade opportunity would be. I'm gonna drop to the 1 hour. So yeah, we finally broke that range, popped up, retested, didn't have the momentum to carry forward, to carry up higher. We were looking for an entry here, but I just didn't see, like, this was a potential entry off this bullish variation, but it just didn't give us the you know, the conviction that we wanted to see. So it did fall back down, but so we're at a pretty critical level. So depending on what US dollar does, is going to determine where AU is going to go. So let's take a look for a second. If we go to DXY, so if this continues down, whoops, if this continues down, AU will continue up, right? See how inversely correlated they are? So we have this little bullish trend here. Now we have this little bearish trend here, okay? So if DXY drops, if it pushes lower and continues with that 4 hour trend, we're gonna see AU pop up and then continue with this 4 hour trend to the upside. So we're literally just looking for a rebreak of 0.699, enter on a higher low, bullish confirmations, we're gone. We're long on that all day long. Or if price action just rejects here and just starts falling off, look for, you know, bearish setups to enter on. Look for an evening star right here. Look for some sort of exhaustion, anything that would, you know, break a lower time frame structure level and give you entry opportunities. Okay, but for right now, the blue trade path, bullish outlook is definitely more favorable. But again, I always like highlighting both scenarios. But yeah, this is looking good. Again, if DXY drops, we'll see this break and then continue higher. So that's AU. Definite trade opportunity there, but a few confirmations away. We're just going to play that one out. There's some better opportunities on the table as of right now. Okay, AJ is looking similar as well. Let's go back. Let's go back to the daily for a second. Very, very similar to AU. It's almost identical. Pretty much same situation. Whereas we have this huge bearish channel. Here's a prior lower high at this monthly level, very significant. Corona spike to the downside, huge 4 hour bullish trend, came back up to meet this prior lower high. So still very much bearish, just like AU. We want to see this monthly break for us to change our sentiment, right? We want to go from bearish to bulls. We need to see this monthly break. But until that happens, we're bearish for the most part on this daily time frame, okay? So let's go to the 4 hour, identify this super strong bullish trend here. So very strong 4 hour bullish trend, right? Good movement, good volume. Price action kind of shot up to this monthly zone around 76 flat, 76.5. Nice head and shoulders, good transition, pushed down, and then gave us this this ascending channel here. Not the strongest ascending channel. A lot of time has passed. It's not as you know, severe as a trend can be. It's pretty calm, to be realistic, because we're getting all these higher lows here. It's kind of just hiking up on these structure levels slowly but surely. So some good entry opportunities here could be, you know, we want to see this little MA cross. I want to see it come back. If price action could hit the 74.5 handle, pull back through these MAs and then cross back through with some bullish, you know, setups. Morning star, bullish engulfing, bullish variation, tons of exhaustion. You know, anything to cross back through these MAs and show that there's good conviction would be a really great trade here. Because again, you're entering on a higher low, you're playing in with the trade, with a trend, and you're targeting a significant level. So this could be a really, really good trade. 2 to 1 risk reward, risking 70 pips to get about 140. So we're going to play this one out. This is, again, a few confirmations away, but it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Definitely confident that this will continue higher. Yes, this is looking good. Let's go ahead and extend this for a second. Let's do this. So that's 74 flat. I want to see. So in order to consider a bearish opportunity, I'll draw this in for you guys real quick. You really want to see a break of these two levels. Because the 200 EMA is there as well. So I really want to see a break below that. Maybe even a retest before considering shorts. Because everything in this kind of says bullish right now in this 4 hour. There's nothing here that's saying, oh, the bears are taking control. I mean, there is a good level of resistance here, but we need to start seeing some lower lows if we're going to start considering short opportunities, which we're not seeing. It's all higher lows. Okay, so until we start seeing some lower lows, lower highs, we're going to stay bullish. Okay. So this is essentially what I want to see to happen. I would need to see to happen to start considering shorts. Lower low, lower high here, and then I could take some trades, take some short opportunities. Okay. This could even come back up into here a little bit like this. Right. So now we're just getting a break of the trend line, break of these two levels, and then a retracement. So something like that is what you want to look at too. Okay. So that's AJ. Obviously, the blue trade path here, the blue arrow, is the more favorable trade. It's with the trend. There's a lot more things lining up that's supporting that bullish outlook. But I always like drawing both scenarios for you guys, keeping you guys open-minded and aware of the potential for the market. All right. So that's AJ. Let's move on to UJ now. So this was an interesting one. I'll actually cover a quick trade we just did on this. So real quick, once look on the daily. Do one look on the daily time frame. Very bearish still. Huge bearish descending channel. Lower high, lower high, lower high. And then here's just the floor. Just the lows of this pattern are at 106, right at this monthly level. And then we can even see that on the daily, it's ranging on this lower time frame. So let's drop to the 4-hour, get a better look at current price action. And yeah, exactly. So we've been ranging for a little bit in this area. Let me fix this. There we go. So key resistance at 109.25, key support at 106, bouncing off, bouncing again, bouncing. Definitely a very significant range. But there are some trades within this range. This is a very broad range, about 300 some odd pips, right? 320, 330 pips in this from range to range, or from zone to zone rather. So within this zone, within this range, we see that it's still very much bearish. Overall sentiment is bearish. We have that huge descending triangle, right? And we're still getting this is still lower high than other lower highs. And then we have this lower time frame descending channel triangle. So we are looking for short opportunities, especially after we saw this transition. Just looking to get back down towards 106, because what we're seeing right now is more bearish movement than anything else. So that's why we're favoring a bearish opportunity here. So we actually saw a break of this support, a break of this pattern. It tested once here, dropped, came back for the retest, in which we took a trade on this transition here and this lower time frame break around 107.1. I'll actually drop to the 1 hour for you guys. Screw it, right? All right, let me zoom out, expand this. All right, so we actually entered over here. Little head and shoulders pattern. We were shorting this. It dropped, came back up, broke some minor levels of structure, and then came back up to our entry. So not ideal. I mean, there were some profit was made, but ultimately it came back to entry, right? It didn't hit our final TP or anything, but it is coming back for a second opportunity. So it did break. So like here's the thing here. It's like a double transition. So we have this 4-hour descending channel, right, or descending triangle. Price action broke, came back for that 4-hour retest, gave us a 1-hour head and shoulders. So now that neckline broke. Now we're getting a retest of the neckline on this 1 hour. So it's a more minor level, giving us a chance to enter on more precise price action. So if we get an MA cross here, something like this down here, literally we could be taking entries in the next couple hours on this MA cross, on bearish confirmation, any sort of bearish setup that would give us enough conviction and confidence to and that would support the short opportunity. So we're definitely looking to go short here. Just waiting for the couple confirmations, and then this could be a really great trade. Let me show you what this would look like. Probably do about 30 pips. Getting down to a monthly, call it 100. Okay, this one's 30 pips. So there it is, guys. There's a potential trade. 30 pips to get about 100. 3.33 risk reward. So this could be a pretty nice trade. Better risk reward than this previous trade. But yeah, we'll see. So a few confirmations away from that. Again, I'm about to drop this one in premium analysis as well. So yeah, just keep an eye on this one. Definitely close to an entry opportunity. Just need those confirmations. Okay. So here we are on Euro JPY. So news just came out. Unchanged interest rate. We'll get to that in a second. Let's do a one look on the daily. Bearish, right? Nothing here says bullish movement at all. It's all bearish. That is clear as day. Okay, so huge bearish movement. Broke out of that bearish channel, retesting major resistance at 123.5. So I'm going to remain with this overall daily bearish sentiment until this zone is broken and we see further bullish price action traveling towards this monthly. Then I'll start considering more a change of trend from bearish to bullish. But until that happens, the daily time frame is overall pretty much bearish. So let's drop to the 4-hour and see what we can identify here. So the 4-hour is more bullish. You can see clearly huge bullish momentum, shot up to 123.5, which is where that prior lower high was. Huge daily zone, rejected, and then started kind of consolidating here, giving us this little bit of a ascending channel, getting some higher lows, higher highs. And then it finally broke 122 flat, which was key resistance right here. Pushed higher. Now it's retesting. Let's drop to the 1-hour for a second. So again, it's looking pretty bullish, right? Finally broke this level, 122. Came down, retraced through the MAs, gave us a double bottom, and then shot back through the MAs with some bullish setups. Nice morning star there, nice engulfing, MA cross. So potential entry there, especially after it's crossing back through this even more minor structure level, okay? So ideally, I would like to see a little bit of a push higher, and I want to see a higher low above this structure level. And then we can enter and target. I literally just put this out in premium analysis. So we could enter on a higher low here, and continue higher, targeting back towards this 123.5 area. So 3.3 risk to reward, 45 pip stop loss to get 150 pips in profit. Okay, so this is a really good trade potentially. Just waiting for a few more confirmations, a little bit more momentum to kind of secure this area, retest, enter on a higher low with strong bullish setups. Pretty much as simple as that. A couple hours away from a good trade. All right, so that's EJ, looking pretty damn good. And then finally, I'm going to cover gold for you guys. Daily time frame, give it one look, bullish, right? Crazy bullish. Nothing here is showing bearish momentum at all. So with that said, daily's bullish. We can take a look at the 4-hour now. Let's zoom out a little bit. So it's actually so bullish that it's a little bit overextended. So we need to see a structure level to get in at a more high probability area, to get a high probability trade. We really want to see structure form, and we are a bit overextended. So now we literally broke 1800, and now we just saw consolidating, heavy. So it's pretty much playing within this box pattern, waiting for a break to the upside or a downside to kind of figure out where price action is going. Right now, there's tons of indecision, and it's literally ranging between 1794, 1795, and 1812. So that's a pretty big range, in terms of pips on gold. So our ideal play from this is we want to see it break lower, form structure at the 38.2 or the 61.8, and then give us some sort of continuation, which it will. I mean, I don't think gold is done rallying at 1800 area. I think it's definitely got a lot more in it. It just needs some time to breathe because this has been a lot of movement lately. So I think it needs to come back a little bit, hit the 38.2, and then continue higher. It may even consolidate for the rest of the week. So we'll see. Gold is not really that close to entry of any kind. So we'll be waiting on this one and giving you guys updates along the way. So yeah, definitely would like to see the 38.2 hit, consolidation, rejection, bullish continuation patterns to the upside. Okay, then we can target this weekly, kind of take it zone by zone. 1825 is the next target, followed by 1850 area. Okay, so looking pretty good. Looking pretty good so far. So quick recap, guys. Covered DXY, bearish. AUD USD, bullish. AJ, looking bullish. UJ, looking bearish. EJ, looking bullish as hell. And then gold, looking bullish also. A little more neutral on this, actually. Gold's a little more neutral. All right, so those are the pairs I covered for you guys. I'm going to pass it off to Angelo when he's ready.
I'm going to go ahead and share up.
Perfect.
See my screen?
Yep.
So I'm going to go over some of the major pairs. This was actually a trade that I put into the premium analysis, a little short position. So if we go in here, we can look. We had, at least I believe I put it in here. Right here, GU. We've been waiting on this for quite some time. We basically had a 1 hour break of structure at the monthly resistance level. We were waiting for that pullback before getting in. So that's exactly where we're at right now. As I go down time frames, weekly time frame, still bearish. Daily time frame was actually bullish, but finding some rejection right there. And then down to this 1 hour, this is where we were in that screenshot. We pulled all the way up to this level, had these two bearish engulfings, and then I waited even more and entered pretty much right here. We got into like a considerable amount of profit. To about we got to about 45 pips, so a little bit over 1 to 1. But as you can see now, we're retracing, which is fine. As I go down to the 30-minute time frame, pretty much what I'm looking for now is I'm looking to see if there's some sort of rejection. I'm gonna probably be out of my position right now, but again, I'm trying to swing this into the overall move, so it's fine that this happened. Let me just see one thing. I would say the original entry, which was here, the reason why I waited was really just because of how wide the stop loss was. The stop loss was like 70 pips. If I were to have taken the trade there, and if I wanted to move the stops above this level, I would have been squeezing it a little bit more. I just waited for the following 1 hour engulfing. Boom, this crossed like entirely, and this definitely gave me a better position. So as this pulls back right now, let's take a look. As this pulls back right now, basically what we're looking for is got this 1 hour trend now, trending bearish. We've got this pullback. As I hit the 30-minute, I'm looking to maintain this 30-minute structure. This is pulling back. Unless this is broken, this 200 moving average, we should look for short positions to the downside, like the next. Basically, what I'm looking for is something similar to this pullback, cross through the moving averages right there. So we're getting that to come into play right now. We just need to wait. We just need to wait until this confirms. A nice retest, before heading lower would be ideal. So we're going to wait on this. Again, I'm going to stick on the lower time frame on GU and continue to manage this. Let's go over to NU. This was another trade that I put in here. We had the 1 hour break, retest, then we were looking to short. So that was over in this area. We pulled back. So let's go up to the daily time frame and actually the weekly time frame. And the only reason I'm really looking to get in on these positions is because the volume in this area from the weekly time frame is a lot. Like there's a lot of sellers in these areas in this red zone. So I'm trying to see if I can get in on positions that inevitably will push lower. If they come back after getting to 1 to 1, if they come back to break even, that's not my concern. I'm not feeling bad about leaving 1 to 1 on the table. I'm trying to get this one to be 1 to 3, 1 to 2. So I'm just trying to get in on very high probability entries. So right now with this trade, down to the 1 hour time frame, pretty much we were in an uptrend, making highs, high or low, high, high or low, retest the high, high or low, made a high here, high or low. That's what inevitably broke. So if I drag this across this trend line, as we can see, a lot going on here, but we had a break of structure right here, and we were waiting on that first pullback. As soon as those moving averages cross, that's when we're trying to get in on the position. And that's, exactly what we did. We entered right here on this, engulfing candle. We potentially could have put our stops even a little bit tighter, right there, but I was trying to play it safe on this one. So I had stops just all the way up above this level up here in case we had another retracement. Now we are in some profits down to the 30-minute time frame. We're looking pretty good. We're getting some pullback here, but unless we really come up to our entry and break this level, I'm not worried about staying in this trade. So this is NU. I'm going to continue to manage this and continue to look for like add-ons, look for re-entries on this pair. Let's bump over to USEF, which we need to reanalyze. USEF on the weekly time frame, we have been pretty uncertain over the last couple of weeks. A lot of exhaustion, from the downside. A lot of sellers exhaustion right here, and we finally got that bullish pressure upwards. Unfortunately, we were in a short position trying to continue this, but at this point, we need to switch up down to the daily time frame. Overall bearish. Overall, red over blue. Still red over blue right now, but a lot of buyers have stepped in the market. And then this is what's interesting is on the 4-hour time frame, we actually broke structure, so we made a new high right now. We did that previously in this area, but then we pulled back and we never made a higher low. We actually broke back below support and then fell off, for more sells. So I'm not doing anything right now. I'm not buying. I'm not selling. Pretty much I'm just waiting because as I bump up to the daily, I'm like, okay, we're in a very similar area to right here. We're still bearish on the daily time frame, still bearish on the weekly, even though we're finding some support. So on this 4-hour time frame, I need to see what the next move, really is. On these lower time frames, on the 1 hour, this is very bullish. On the 30-minute, this is very bullish. But we're starting to lose some steam at the top of this area right now. Made this high, pulled back, made this high. So if we need to see a break of this on this 30-minute time frame to go lower. If we retest this one more time, find support, then we can go long on this, to be honest. So we're waiting to see how price really reacts to this level right here. And until we get, that's our move right now on USEF. So I'm going to put this over here. Boom. Again, blue is trades that I'm in. This orange is trades that I'm, looking on the lower time frames. And then red is trades, higher time frame trades. So let's go to the higher time frame on UCAD. UCAD obviously had this huge sell-off, right here. So we got some questions. Both pairs always acting the same pattern, right? That is definitely not true. With USEF and JPY don't really have too much of a correlation. EU, I'm going to go over EU in a second. So let's look at UCAD daily time frame. Or actually, let's bump all the way to the weekly time frame. UCAD. We are overall bullish. But we had this huge bearish engulfing candle right at the monthly resistance level right here, which is obviously major. And as we cycle down time frames to the daily time frame, we were bearish, daily time frames forming even some sort of like head and shoulders right here. Boom. We got some sort of pattern going. Boom. Something like this. But we need to, basically with this, what I'm looking at is we have bearish pressure, bearish engulfing, huge bearish candle, but we're still riding this 200-day EMA. Right now, as I go to the 4-hour, 4-hour time frame basically is 4-hour time frame is bearish. This is what I was talking about earlier in the week, kind of up at this level. I was saying that we were testing right here. If we go back earlier in the week, I had put this arrow here. We were testing this level, waiting to see what happens. A lot of doji started to form. Let's take a look at where the potential entry was on this, because the entry definitely was there. Earlier in the week, we had basically, I'm going to bump up to the 1-hour time frame. Earlier in the week, basically, we were, like I said, we were up at this level. We're on the 1 hour. This was retesting this 1-hour zone. I was looking at this area. Then I was bumping to the 30-minute, and I was looking to see, okay, where are the breaks of support? So we had this high form. We pulled back. We started to form a higher low pretty much right here. And as soon as this level broke, this is when we were looking for sells. So this broke, retest, rejection, sells. Then I was down here. Literally the last opportunity was right here. I was all the way on the 15-minute, and I saw this. And we went over this on the session earlier this week. Was pretty much right here. We had made a new low, pulled back, all this exhaustion off the blue zone. And we had this engulfing candle. This was the trade that I was sizing up. Unfortunately, I didn't get in on this trade, but we had, stops there. and this thing went into, profit right away. So this would have been, the volume was there, right below our zone. So this definitely would have been a nice trade. But regardless, what are we waiting for now as we pull back? 1 hour time frame is obviously very bullish. Let me just clean up, or very bearish. Let me just clean up some of this charts. Let's bump back up to the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is retesting this level, which is that 200-day EMA on the daily time frame. So the 4 hour is retesting, this bottom. I'll make this a zone instead of a level. So we're retesting, boom. Really, this zone right here is what we're retesting, and it's basically just this demand zone, actually, right here. Boom. So we're retesting that demand zone right there. Stop loss under this single. Okay, gold is insane. So
You gotta watch.
So yeah, down on this 30-minute time frame, 30 minutes bearish, 1 hour time frame's bearish, just made a new low. 4 hour time frame is bearish. We're still in this bearish trend. Now we're getting some sort of pullback. So let's line up, where is an area with multiple confirmations. In the course we teach about, entry zones, where are like kill zones. In this, I can bring on my fibs. I can look and see right here, we got the 38.2. Boom, 38.2. We got this support now turn resistance level. And then to the upside, we also have the 618. We've got some resistance. We got the 200-day, moving at, or 200-day moving average right there. So we got that. And we got this. So these are two areas I'm looking for price to retrace to. Look for short opportunities, on UCAD. These are what we normally post in the premium analysis, some potential areas of entry. I don't put this on my charts as much anymore because for me personally, I don't need to. Like, I know that these are two areas that I'm looking for. I don't need to clutter my charts up with all of this, but for you guys that are trying to understand entry zones a little bit more and just be more patient, I would just put these on your charts, put on some trade paths, and then just wait, wait and see if these zones are met. If they are met, if price action shows you an entry signal, enter, then you put your stop loss in the right area and everything. So again, everything is just like, at one point I was using this, every single time I was trying to take trades, just like training wheels, guys. It's like pretty much like the first video that we have about support and resistance. You got lines all over the charts. You know what I'm saying? Lines all over every single time frame. But at one point, you don't need those lines anymore. Like, you start to understand time frame correlation. Like, but nothing's wrong with using them at first. At first, nothing's wrong with using them. They definitely, help you out in the beginning. They're definitely important. But at one point, you got to know to remove them. Remove them, clear things up. Like right now, for me, it actually is worse that I have them on because I just need to chill and just wait. So but that's because I understand things the way that I do, and I'm just waiting. And I'd rather have a clear chart. Like, I know with the fib, like there's 38.2 here, 618 here. Like, I know that. Like, I've used the fib so many times. So I don't need to necessarily keep that on the chart. And that's why some people say our charts are so clean. Like, that's because we're thinking about everything that we could use, while we're just looking at the blank chart. Like, that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the goal. We know where we're at, what we're using. So that's UCAD. We're down on this 1 hour. I'm going to bring these things back on, and I will drop this one in the premium analysis right here. So this is USD CAD, next potential short opportunity. Boom. There we go. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to take these off now for my own personal use. Bring that back onto here. Let's go to EU. So EU is setting up fairly nicely. We're just at some highs right now in this daily time frame, which, is why I'm holding off. But basically, let's start all the way up on the monthly. Monthly time frame has crossed moving averages. So When this crosses, that means that the bulls are in control. The bull momentum is bullish right now, even though we're in this downtrend. Momentum is bullish at the moment. And as we cycle down to the weekly, we can see the weekly actually, obviously bullish as well, but we broke support or resistance on the weekly, which is important. We broke resistance on the weekly, made this new high, retested, and that's where we started to on this daily time frame. We made this high, pulled back, this high or low. This is where all the buy opportunities really were at. We went over these earlier this week. We were in a downtrend up until pretty much this was broken. We were in a downtrend pretty much until actually this was broken all the way back here. We made this high, no entry opportunities until this happened. Then we obviously came up, rejected, came back down. We would have had to manage these trades. And then inevitably, we really started to get higher highs and higher lows. Higher high, entry opportunity in this zone. Higher high, entry opportunity down here. And then we rode the moving averages until we had another pullback, entry opportunity there. And this is all in the 1 hour. So we are now on the 1 hour again, and we're getting that same pullback. We just got a pullback. We need to confirm the moving averages to cross. If we want to enter this position, we basically need this following candle to close higher, this to cross a little bit more. And all that tells me without looking at the 15-minute is that there's some sort of break of structure on the 15-minute. So you see the 15-minute is forming lows, lower high, low, lower high, low. This is the level that needs to break. And I'm not even looking at the 15-minute because I don't need to. But on the 1 hour, that's why I'm saying we need more. This needs to cross. Once that crosses, 15-minute breaks, 30-minute, inevitably is being tested. A lot of momentum is changing, right here as we can see. So we just need to get a little bit higher. More ideally, we need this level to break if we want to play it even more safe. Right there. So again, that's why I don't even bump down to lower time frames. I just use this 1 hour and the 30-minute, and I wait for the moving averages to break, and that tells me 5-minute broke, 15-minute broke, 30-minute broke, 1 hour breaking, or 1 hour continuing, and everything like that. So we're gonna wait. We need this to close higher on EU, and that's pretty much everything that I have for you guys. I went over NU. Which right now is starting to fall a little bit more again. So we're in a sell position right now on NU. GU, which we're looking to take this trade path, got this pullback happening right now. So we need to see what happens with that. USEF, like I said, either we test this level and find support or there's no entry. We're just going to wait. UCAD, like I just am going to post in premium analysis, waiting on that pullback. EU, waiting for the close higher right here before getting long, and that's pretty much it. So if you guys want to get in on this premium analysis, all you got to do, get into the Discord. It's this $7 one-time fee. We already went over EJ, so I don't. Yeah, we already looked at EJ. So if you want this premium analysis, $7 one-time fee. Right here, pretty much what you get with that is a little course along with these every day we drop, when we're looking for trades. Nick put in EJ opportunity, I just put in UCAT opportunity. So this is kind of just building off these live sessions. These live sessions are obviously completely free, for you guys. And yeah, so if you want to kind of get a little bit more out of them and build off of them inside of all the free, channels that we have, the free Discord, then you can get in on this. So again, premium analysis, you get access to this channel. Every single lower time frame analysis that we go over in this session, we post in the in this premium analysis channel. So once you buy it, you'll be added to this. There is a course as well that teaches you, talks about each time frame, what we look for on each time frame, just top down analysis, using price action. So that's the $7. If you guys are interested, we do still have this deal going on for the premium signals. There are 2 spots left now. So I know someone asked about this asterisk. This asterisk means nothing. It's just a one-time fee, $149. You guys will get signals, fundamental updates, trading plan, and live sessions. Pretty much we are working right now on implementing some sort of way for you guys to copy our trades right from our accounts. So I know a lot of people are having issues missing trades, not getting notifications, stuff like that. So we are going to work on a way where you guys can just copy our trades. You don't have to give us your, account information or anything. You guys set it up on your end. But if you want to get in, that's going to be, once we get that set up, we're going to be definitely charging more, because that's going to be, you guys aren't going to have to do shit. You're just going to sign up and literally we're going to trade your account for you. But if you guys want to get in right now and get rolled into that program, this is the deal. $149 one-time fee, only 10 spots are available. And again, everything here is included. So if you want in on this, just message me after this call and we'll get you started. As always, this has been recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube right after this call. No giveaway today, but there are some giveaways going on in the chat. If you guys want to enter in on a little giveaway here, all you got to do is post some profits. So if we go up a little bit more, we got people posting their profits from the week. If you want to enter, just post your profits in here. And then as always, just stay active in public. Whatever announcements we have, we'll be posting in there. And, pretty much the last day of the week, we're going to really be looking for trades. So people in the signals, stay ready. Stay ready out there.
Yeah, Thursday is usually the last day we'll put out trades. So, and this is also this is the last live session of the week, Thursday. And the next time you'll see us on cam is Sunday for the Sunday Market Blitz, presenting the next week's analyses. So, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this week. Stay sharp, stay active. We'll see you on Sunday.
See you guys on Sunday. Have a good rest of your day.
Peace, guys.
Peace.